Hi there, welcome to the ERS Fast Start video training series. My name is Noah and I'll be guiding you through these tutorials. This is Fast Start video number 1, Getting Started. In this video, we'll input your basic company information and get your initial settings squared away. So when you first sign up for the ERS system, you should have received a URL to go to log in and get started, along with a username and password. That URL always follows the same format, yourfoldername.ourers.com/cp. So let's get started by opening up our web browser. We recommend Google Chrome for best results, and going to that URL and entering in our username and password here. When you first sign in, you'll be prompted to read and agree to our end user license agreement. Once you've signed the agreement, you should be redirected to a screen that looks much like this. We call this area the home screen. On this screen, there's a bunch of useful at-a-glance information, such as an event calendar, a list of employee tasks, some at-a-glance sales reports, a weather map for your local service area, a list of recent updates, and some account information. So before we do anything else, let's go ahead and establish a new username and password. We're going to do that at Admin, General Config, Users. So let's click into our profile, and let's go ahead and update our username and password and fill out the basic information here. Specifying a mobile carrier allows the system to send me text messages. Now we can see that we have different kinds of user groups. These different groups have different permission levels. For example, your drivers won't be able to edit your inventory. I'm going to go ahead and leave myself as an administrator. And we can put a whole lot more information in here, but I'm not going to worry about this stuff right now. For right now, the basic information is all we're looking for. And we'll cover adding and editing users more thoroughly in a subsequent tutorial. So now that this is updated, I'm going to go ahead and submit. Alright, so now that we've updated our username and password, let's take a brief tour of the control panel or back end of the ERS system. We're currently in the admin area. This is where you do administrative types of things like setting up your settings, editing your inventory and your website, and that sort of thing. This is the scheduling tab. There's an event calendar on there. You can look at a list of your events, active, sent quotes, canceled, etc. There are a number of different layouts for your events, so you can toggle between those here. And this is also where you go to place an order in the back end. This tab that says Customers, we refer to as the CRM, or Customer Relationships Manager. In here you can do a customer search. You can enter in a new customer here, and look at your most recent customers to have placed orders or entered information into the system. You can send text messages to your customers from here if you have acquired that add-on service. You can also see a list of employee tasks and your signed and unsigned contracts. From either here or here, you can click into a customer profile and do things like update their contact information, create or edit custom fields, time-stamped notes, tasks, view a messaging history between you and the customer, and or send an email directly from here. See the status of the customer's points. Points are a feature that allow you to do things like loyalty and reward programs. And view the customer's billing status. In addition, you can see an order history between you and the customer here as well. This is the routing area. This is the area where you manage your deliveries and drop-offs. You can also print contracts and invoices from here, and use the truck tracker feature if you're a Pro Plus or Elite customer. Here we have the reports area. We can see at the top here we have some at-a-glance reports. There's also a very thorough tax report right here. You can connect Google Analytics to your website right here. And there are about 85 other reports right here. All of these reports are exportable to CSV, and many of them link to other parts of the system, so you can quickly do things like manage payments, send an email, manage the order, or make a batch charge for multiple outstanding invoices. And last but not least, we've got the help area. There's useful general information here, and there's also the knowledge base. The knowledge base allows you to do keyword searches to pull up helpful information and articles on the topic that you're looking for help with. It's always best to do single word searches if you can. The system is looking for exact matches, so multiple words can sometimes narrow down your results too much. Alright, so that's the nickel tour of the control panel or back end, and we'll dive deeper into each of those areas in subsequent tutorials. For now, let's enter in our basic company information and settings with the Setup Wizard, and we'll do that by going to Admin and start the Setup Wizard. Now most of this is going to be fairly self-explanatory. Redelivery padding is intended to give you time to break down and clean the items between rentals. If you have some items that might take more time than this, and some items that might take less, that's fine. You can set a different delivery padding at the item level. This is just the default setting. Now, earliest and latest party time are pretty self-explanatory. We strongly recommend you do require an email upon checkout. The ERS system will send your customer an email with their receipt and a link for them to sign their contract digitally. And so in order to send that email, of course an email address is required upon checkout. Default tax is just that, the default tax rate that you'll pay. So enter in the default tax rate for the county or city in which you do most of your business. Later on, you'll have the ability to set different tax rates for different cities, and we'll cover that in our next video. Once again, this is fairly self-explanatory. We can see that the text messaging phone number is already auto-filled from the setup wizard earlier. If for whatever reason you do need to still put in a phone number here, make sure you enter the phone number and the mobile carrier, and then click Save. Alright, that wraps it for the setup wizard. This is what we call the inventory wizard. It's an easy way to quickly add categories and items to your inventory. And we'll get to that in a bit, but first let's go ahead and update our company logo. We're going to do that at Admin, Website, General Images. Now before we make any edits here, it's very important that you don't change the name of the pictures in here. The system uses the names of these photos for various functions throughout the system, so if you change the names of the photos, the system can't do its job. So let's click into Logo, and let's click here to update the picture. You can choose from any of the pictures in here or upload one from your computer. Alright, now that we've chosen our photo, let's go ahead and submit. And we can see that the system went ahead and updated the logo up here. Anytime we're logged into the back end of the system, we can always click here to open up a copy of the live website. This can be useful for monitoring your edits as you make them. But we can see up here that our company logo is still not on the website. So let's go ahead and click back into General Images and update our website logo. Then when we go back to our live website and refresh the screen, we should see our logo on there. Alright, so let's go ahead and update our favicon. The favicon is the little icon that shows up next to the HTML title in your browser tab. By default, the system uses the ERS logo as the favicon for your website. So if you'd like to upload a custom favicon to make your branding more consistent, you can click here to do that. And once again, when we go back to our live website, we should see the change reflected. Alright, that almost does it for this tutorial. Just a few more things to cover before we wrap up. Firstly, if you haven't yet joined our ERS users group on Facebook, I highly recommend that you do. We've got about 1,000 of our customers spread throughout the country on this forum, so it's a really good place to learn more about the system, or just to bounce ideas and questions, pun intended, off of our colleagues in the field. You can find the users group at facebook.com/groups/ERS users group. It is a private group only for ERS users, so you'll be prompted to answer a few questions just to confirm that you're one of our customers. Now, another thing that can be really helpful if you're working in the systems and have questions is to click on the Help tab and enter the knowledge base to do a keyword search. You'll find lots of articles and useful information in here. And last but not least, you can always reach out to the tech support department if you have any questions at all about how to use the system. You can reach them at 505-435-9731, extension 102, or support@eventrentalsystems.com. Alright, that about wraps it for this video. The next video will be on setting up your service areas. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you soon.